Well, it's about time for us to do tennis, and one organization which is doing very well promoting the interests of tennis and other social issues here in Ghana is Hope Foundation Tennis. And the gentleman already in the studio to talk us further what the foundation is all about and what they hope to achieve in the nearest possible time. I have Enock and Cedric. Gentlemen, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us.
How are you?
Good.
I think I'll start with Enock.
Okay.
Since he's on my right, it's really nice. If it's a lady, I'm sure I'll start with him. Enock, Hope Foundation Tennis, what is it all about?
Thank you for the question also. And then Hope Foundation Tennis, it's all rely on my vision, you know, as a tennis player, also coming up as a kid, you know, the experience that I went through, you know, as a tennis player and also, you know, as a kid. And I mean, when I came back to this home in 2017, you know, I realized the hardship that I went through as a child, you know, playing the game of tennis. It's pretty much the same thing that is going on now, and even this time, it's even, you know, tougher, you know, than before. So that's what bring the idea of Hope Performance Tennis, you know, to bring support and bring hope, you know, and encouragement to those kids that are involved in the game and those ones that are, I mean, willing to play the game, so that we can support them, you know, to continue with their vision.
Okay, how long have you been in existence? And what have you achieved so far as an organization or a foundation, if I say so?
So as organization, we've been in existence for 5 years. You know, today is our this year is our 5th year as organization, and I mean we've been doing a lot. You know, right now I can tell you that I mean through our programs that we come and do each and every year, the equipment and stuff that we give out, you know, I've been able to sustain, you know, some kids. You know, now today when you go, you know, Ghana Tennis, when you come to the junior side, you know, you can see a lot of kids, you know, trailing, you know, in terms of playing tournaments. You know, the ITF tournaments that just came here recently. I mean, we have our kids, you know, winning the whole team, you know, beating the foreigners that are coming. So that tells you that the support that we're giving to them is something that is benefiting them, because now they don't have to worry much about buying strings, you know, and all those kind of things, because the strings are there. As an organization, what we do is when we come and we do our programs, you know, we give the equipment to the facility that which we did the program. So the kids that are at that facility, you know, benefit from the items or the equipment that we put there that have been provided to the facility. So that's what helped them, you know, to stay consistent with their practice, to stay consistent with focusing on practicing each and every day, and then that's how they get to where they are now.
Okay, let me get to Cedric. What do you think has been the impact so far of your organization?
This foundation, through this program, has been able to reach over 2,500 young people. We have introduced nearly 1,200 people to tennis for the very first time. And we have ensured that there's a level of consistency when it comes to the ambition of young people to excel in the sports. We have been able to assemble the creme de la creme, professional coaches in the game who are able to impact the technical abilities of playing the games to these young people. To the extent where a number of these young people who have benefited from our program have featured greatly in tournament and are winning. It is instructive to put across that the current Ghana #1, Samuel Entry, is a product of the Hope Performance Tennis. We have Ankara, who is a major player when it comes to the under 18, and when it comes to Ayaba, among other young people. This foundation has been able to ensure that the vision and aspiration of young people will not be lost upon. We do this by organizing tennis clinics, tournaments.
Like what we're seeing on the screen now.
Yes, perfectly. Yes, tennis clinics, tournaments, and giving strength to young people. I should say also that through this foundation, we have addressed issues of stereotyping, gender inequalities. I'm sure that few of our video will fly on the screen, where you see our program being organized at the Cape Coast Stadium, where we assembled over 35 young people who are into wheelchair tennis.
So I'm very interested in the wheelchair tennis because I've seen the slams, the international tournaments. Ghanaians don't participate. What do you hope to achieve with this? Because the last time you guys played is it the one stuff? I saw some of the disabled people trying to participate. What do you hope to achieve with this very wheelchair tennis thing?
Perfect. Our prime objective is to carry the message and to achieve the implementation of the fact that people living with disability have unique talent and are able to contribute towards development just as any other person. But notwithstanding, they are shortchanged because of the opportunities and platforms that they do not have. Anytime I drive to the traffics, And I hope you will encounter this also.
Yeah.
And I see people with disabilities begging for alms. Sometimes you look at, the competencies that some of these people have, and thinking of the fact that they will resort to begging of alms as a form of livelihood is a little bit disheartening.
Yeah.
And so through this foundation, we are creating that opportunity to, first of all, instill hope, to make them believe that they can also contribute and be part of society and bring honor to the country.
Okay.
And so through this program, we organize the wheelchair tennis in Cape Coast through the support of the Ghana Tennis Federation and the coordinator of the wheelchair tennis, Mr. Henry Labi. And we provided tennis racket, strings to these young people. What we are doing now is to be able to create a counterpart project where we will link them to initiatives in the United States, where our president and founder is based in Atlanta, to have exchange programs.
Okay.
So some of these wheelchair tennis players will go to the state and learn the best practices and also expose them to the game.
Okay.
And we have their counterparts in the United States coming down to have this program. And we believe that through this initiative, we will better equip these wheelchair tennis players and position them for honors for the country, and also to impact their own societies and for their own honor also.
Okay, you guys are busy yourself with trying to promote tennis in Ghana. I'm being told that there's a new project focusing on climate change. Why have you taken this upon yourself too?
Yeah, the specific reason why we've taken this upon ourselves, climate change is something that is taken down a lot from, sports itself. And then also we deal with kids, we deal with, children. And, when it comes to children, play is very, very important, So we want to make sure, climate change is something that we educate the kids that are coming now, so that they know the importance, of climate change, because we're talking about play. And we're telling them if there's a flood, there's no way we can play. If there's a fire around, there's no way we can play. If there's contested and we having rain each and every day, if there's rain each and every day, then there's no way we can play. And these are the things that we can do, to make sure we avoid, stuff like this, so that we have more playing time. So we are educating them that, hey, these are the things that we need to avoid. These are the things that we need to not to do, so that we can get, we can get rid of climate change, so that we can get, access to playing time and get more involved in playing.
Let me.
Atlanta, and you're doing this project. What goes through your head when you see the kids, especially those from Osu, Chocola, and that kind of stuff, rush to you? You see on their faces that determination to play tennis. What goes around your head?
Basically, what goes around my head, when I'm standing there watching them, first of all, to me as a person, I see joy.
Yeah.
I see joy, I see happiness, I see kids, having fun. Because the game of tennis or the game of sports, it's all about fun. If you're not having fun, then pretty much you're not enjoying what you are doing, So when I see these kids having fun, running around the place, that's exactly, what excites me. And then also from there, we know definitely they're going to get to a position where they're going to take the game serious now. So when at the first time, the goal is to give them the opportunity. The goal is to hand the racket to them the first time. And by handing the racket to them at the first time, you don't want to make it any difficult to them. It's all about having fun. So that's why we make sure the fun part for the first day is very important. And then when they depart, the ones that really enjoy it, because they said many are called, but few are chosen. So we will always call about 1,000 people, and then at the end, we're going to have 200 or 300 in between, and then they're going to be sticking to the game, then from there. So basically, to me, when I see it, because growing up as a kid, we didn't get that opportunity. We didn't get opportunity where there's a program where there are 1,000 kids, 500 kids.
I'm sure you remember Coach Chacha.
Exactly, and actually, I spoke with him like 2 days ago, and I invited him to the program, and like what I see is that during that time, when there's a program, I'm hungry, but I have to go to the program. But after the program, I don't have anything to eat. So as a foundation, my goal, like I was saying, the experience that I've been through, I know, okay, after programs like this, normally I don't have food to eat. I don't know where I'm going. So that's why I was like, no. If I'm going to do stuff like this, I have to make sure everybody that comes there is going to get everything for free. So at each and every of our programs that we do, we give free breakfast, free lunch, free refreshment for thousands of kids, and everything at all is free. Because when I was doing it, things are not free like that. And things were difficult, So when I have the opportunity to give back, I want to make sure I make it easy for everybody to get access to it, so that everything will be free for everybody.
Okay. You keep on saying everything is free. Are you getting support from some donors, or where do you get your support from?
So the organization itself is registered in the United States. It's registered in Atlanta, and most of our donations come from the state. So we raise most of our fund. We do our fundraisers. In the US. We have our donors and support. From the US. I mean, over here in Ghana, pretty much, I think 2-3 years ago, we did wrote, to some companies, trying to seek for their support, because, we're doing a lot, and we say, okay, if we have few support from others, that will make our work easier as well. But up to now, this is our 5th year, we do it every year, and people, see what we do. But I guess, people are still not awake yet to be like, oh, okay, I think these people are doing a good job. Let's go ahead and start supporting them, companies, and stuff like that. But time will tell, as of now, we're doing as we can as an organization to make sure we're giving the support, out.
All right. Well, this is Sports World. My name is Phil John Quarte. Been chatting with the leadership of the Hope Foundation on the activities here in Ghana and the likely impact in tennis. Cedric, tell me about the climate change you are so passionate about.
I should mention that I am also speaking as the Global YMCA Ambassador on Climate Change.
Okay.
And it is instructive for this foundation to concern itself about climate change, because climate change is distracting play. As Enock rightly mentioned before, when there's floods, kids are no longer able to go out to play. Melting glaciers is preventing ice sports from taking place. And extreme heat is also affecting the game. And so it is important that we use sports to mobilize funding, to mobilize finances, to mobilize leadership from all aspects to confront the climate crisis. Because we cannot leave these matters only to our leaders, say political leaders, to address. Because if it is affecting us in sports.
What is Hope Foundation doing? 30 seconds.
So what we are doing is to engage in climate change education. And we did this at the 37 program, where we are raising a level of consciousness in terms of education among these young people, so that they will have the drive to concern themselves with the climate crisis. In our quest that when they grow, they'll be able to come up with solutions, and then also to become climate leaders of their time, and to also use that platform to mobilize funds, to mobilize support in addressing the climate crisis. Very soon, we are looking for a big project where we are talking about an indoor tennis facilities, among others, so that even if there is rain, there's floods, Hope Tennis can pride itself of providing modern state-of-the-art tennis facilities indoor for these young people to excel and to continue to charm.
Okay, well, finally, before we go, I got 2 questions. First has to do with Serena Williams. You saved that one for the last one. Okay. Over here, Hope Foundation, you are trying to get the impact already. Some of your players are playing almost like #1 seed here in Ghana. But at what stage will you be there and tap your hand on your back, say that we think we've done it? At what stage?
So as of now, right now, like we were saying previously, when there's tournaments of such caliber, like the ITF stuff, our players don't really excel that much, they don't go that far, in those tournaments, and now, as you can see, they're winning those tournaments, they're going to the finals. Their seeds are very high in the world junior tennis, so I think for now, as an organization, we can say that, we've get to a level where we'll be like, oh, okay, I think we're getting there, so right now, I'm probably going to give it like maybe 60%, but I know the next 5 years, our goal is to make sure, these kids are going to get to, between 90 to 100%, in terms of when it comes to playing tournaments, and then also give them the opportunity to start traveling out of the country, to participate in those tournaments.
That's when you think that you've done that impact.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. We are about wrapping up the show, but hey, one of the greatest tennis players is about to just leave the scene pretty soon. 3 days ago, she gave that emotional farewell at the Attached Stadium. What do you make of what she's done so far in terms of tennis? You played tennis before.
Yes.
What are the people in the United States saying, especially those in Atlanta where you are based?
Yeah, so, when you come to the United States, even though we have Florida and New York and all those things, Atlanta is the big tennis city. Atlanta is the biggest tennis city in the United States.
Not even in New York?
No, not New York, not Florida, not California, where they groom all the top players, Atlanta is the biggest tennis city, in the whole America.
So how can they play the U.S. Open
In New York. Okay, so the specific reason to that is that Atlanta has this thing that we call altar tennis.
Okay.
Okay, so altar tennis is basically like, it's like a league tennis among, recreational tennis and all those kind of things.
Right.
And so due to that, there are a lot of people playing tennis in Atlanta, you know, so that makes it, the biggest, tennis city in Atlanta. But yeah, like, let's go back to Serena. I mean, it's very heartbreaking, to see her leaving the scene. I mean, she has been dominating, for the past 2 decades, and seeing such, such caliber of, tennis player, exiting from the game, is very emotional for a lot of people.
And Coco Gauff take a place?
I think it's going to be a tough, it's going to be a tough decision because, I mean, Coco Gauff is coming, she's doing well, but then, I mean, where she is now, I think she's still, I mean, she's working with Serena's coach, so definitely there might be some few tips that will come from Serena, to, I believe, I mean, I'm thinking maybe from now, since Serena is exiting, she has to, link up with Serena, and see what, she has to, I mean, give her something and like probably work with her, advise her, or take her as a personal advisor or something in the game, so that maybe if something like that happens, then we might be like, oh, okay, maybe she can get to that level, as of now.
Enock, Cedric, thank you guys.
Thank you for
We're hoping the whole foundation will have that impact we are hoping for right here in tennis. 30 seconds.
Okay, so our program is on Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday, 8 a.m., at Accra Sports Stadium. We're calling on all parents, that live in Accra, bring your kids to the stadium. If you keep the kids at home, you don't know where their talents belong, bring them to the stadium, let them come and have fun, see if they're going to stick with tennis. If not, they can jump into another sports, but on the 7th at Accra Sports Stadium. Okay,
thank you very much. But remember, tomorrow, we're going to bring in one of Ghana's greatest tennis stars, Francophone, into the studio to speak at Ghana tennis and also speak about what is happening in West Africa.